This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello, pet friends. This is Michelle Fern, your host on Best Bets for Pets. You know, I've been doing Best Bets for Pets for over 10 years, and I've had a lot of different products, especially, oh my gosh, a lot of treats and a lot of healthy products and things like that. But I've never had anything quite like this. It's for your pooches, and it's actually something very good for them, and it's frozen, which is kind of different. We're going to talk to the creator and find out all about it as soon as we get back from this break. We'll be right back.
Moose is the German Shepherd and hasn't had any kind of health problems at all. He has been on Dinovite since he's a puppy. DINOVITE.com. We tell anybody that has a dog, if there was something that you could do right from the beginning so that you don't have expensive veterinary bills, why would you not do it? Get the Dinovite.
Dinovite for life.
You get some Dinovite, how happy your dog will be.
DINOVITE.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I'd like to introduce you to Robert Schlien. He is the founder and CEO of Buddy Custard, Inc. Welcome, Robert.
Thank you so much, Michelle. It's terrific being here. I really have tremendous gratitude for allowing me to tell our story. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm thrilled to have you here, and this is quite an interesting story. So your product is Buddy Custard, and what I kind of, alluded to, and what's one thing that's really different is that it's frozen, and that is kind of different for fur babes. There's not even a lot of frozen treats, but yours isn't a treat. It's something actually like good for dogs, but we'll get to that part later. First, tell us your story. How did Buddy Custard come about?
Well, it came about as one of the worst days of my life I could have had. Getting a cancer diagnosis, which was about 15, 16 years ago, was because I never had any experience with cancer, nor did anybody in my family. So getting that diagnosis, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, floored me. And I thought it was the worst day of my life. I never, ever, ever imagined that it would lead to where we are today, which is making a terrific product for our puppy friends and for other companion animals along the way. So it started out as gloomy, turned out to be a wonderful situation for me. And it was very scary at the time. And essentially what happened, Michelle, is that the cancer started to get very aggressive about 12 years ago. And in fact, my oncologist, who had put off doing the protocol on non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is chemotherapy, sometimes radiation, sometimes surgery. But they advised me that there's no longer any waiting, that this is close to the brain, that it's very aggressive now. It went from mild to aggressive, and now it's time to take action. And I was pretty upset about that because I didn't want to get involved with, pharmaceuticals and the conventional treatments. I studied statistics, and I didn't like the numbers, and I didn't like the way the cancers were coming back after years. And I sort of went searching for alternatives, but I couldn't find anything that I was comfortable with that actually was viable. Long and short is I stumbled upon a protocol that was developed back in the 1950s by the foremost cancer specialist in the world at the time, a Dr. Joanna Budwig. She was out of Germany. She was a quantum physicist and biologist. In fact, she was the head of the German FDA, and her specialty was finding out options for cancer victims. And what she did was she started doing experiments with fats. And she found that you could use fats and a healthy diet to fight cancer. And her protocol, which to me seemed totally absurd, I went on it just out of I had nothing to lose. Let me go give it a try. And so I did. And long and short, within a few days, I went into remission, and that was about 11, 12 years ago. And I've been cancer-free ever since.
Congratulations. And that's fascinating.
Yeah, it is. And I want to tell you that it seemed so simple and it seemed so obvious that this is too good to be true. So this was not a matter of mind over matter kind of a thing. This was, I just didn't believe that this darn thing would work, but it did. And that's why we're talking about it today.
Quite amazing. So how did you come from that? And thank God you're healthy and everything, worked out. But how did you come from discovering this to saying, you know what, I should make something? Is it just for dogs, Buddy Custard?
Buddy Custard is for dogs, but I must tell you that the development of the product was for human use. But I started to do some studying because 26,000 people, that's as far as we know through the blogs that are available about this protocol, have been using it for 50 or 60 years. It's not new. And in fact, the doctor that developed the protocol was nominated for the Nobel Prize in cancer research like 5 or 6 or 7 times back in the 50s. But anyway, what happened is that when my wife and I saw the turnaround in my condition, and for over a year, both humans and then their pets started to come to us and ask us, well, gee, you never took conventional treatment. What did you do? Maybe I'd like to try that myself. And it was my wife, Catherine, who's now the president of Buddy Custard. It was her idea, actually. She said, look, Robert, she says, there's an epidemic out there in canines of serious chronic diseases, most notably cancer and then arthritis, heart disease, and diabetes. She said, why don't we try to reformulate and see if this will work on pets? So we did. We went into R&D for about 5 or 6 years, and we started doing tests with humans and with pets, and it worked in exactly the same way because it is a substance that works on cells, and cancer is a cellular or metabolic disorder. So it evolved into a big problem out there is that canines are getting very, very ill. 3 out of 4 dogs are getting cancer after the age of 10. 1 out of every 4 is coming with arthritis. About 20% are also getting diabetes. And there's actually a fair amount of heart disease in dogs as well. So we saw out there an opportunity to satisfy a problem was out there by going commercial and using this for the canines initially. So that's how it all came. It was my wife's idea. I give her all the credit for that.
Kudos to Catherine. It's very interesting. And I think that there's the reason, we know so much more about our fur babes today is because of the place they take in our homes and our hearts, which is different than it was, even like 20, 30 years ago. I just think back and big changes and all for the good, because as much care as we can give them, they live longer, they make us happy. There are less dogs and cats being euthanized for the pet owners, better care and everything. So, so Buddy Custard can do a lot of things. Without going too much, your secrets or formulation is your formulation, but how does it do this? What is in it?
Yeah. Okay. Well, the product is the core ingredients in Buddy Custard are flaxseed oil, and we use only organic flaxseed oil, and cottage cheese. And then through our re-engineering and our technology and our experimentation with the taste buds of canines, we decided that we would also create a flavoring for ones that are a little bit more picky. Like you said, Michelle, the dogs have become a part of our homes. They're part of our lives. And they really have made our lives terrific, particularly of recent with the COVID. I mean, most animal rescues have a shortage, thank God, have a shortage of adoptions these days because people want dogs in their homes. It makes them feel better. Cats, of course, as well. Anyway, the long and short, the product only has 4 ingredients in it, which is flaxseed oil, organic, cottage cheese, all natural, stevia that makes it taste sweeter because flaxseed oil is a little bit bitter. And then we use some peanut butter flavoring for those spoiled dogs that like peanut butter. And we make it both ways. And we combine the ingredients in a very specific way. In fact, we have patents on the process to do this, to manufacture it in a very specific way, because it has to be done in a very specific technology engineered way that we copied from Dr. Joanna Budwig. And that comes back to why it's frozen, because we were able to take this technology, make the product, duplicate it exactly as it is, as human grade product for dogs, and freeze it. So when they get it, they just defrost it, and we don't lose any of the integrity of our formulas. I hope I'm explaining that.
I think it's pretty clear. I mean, I'm not a scientist, and most of our listeners are not, but it sounds, very clear, very direct. Why frozen? Because that's really unique.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we looked at various methods of getting the product to the consumer in a way that we don't lose the integrity. And the best way to do that is having it as a frozen product, because it doesn't lose any of the characteristics. Now, being that one of the ingredients is cottage cheese, which is dairy, that could turn. So we can't do anything in a fresh way. By the time they got it shipped to them or they picked it up from the store, it could start turning. So what we did was we tested by freezing it, flash freezing it. The manufacturers that make it for us are all USDA and FDA approved manufacturing facilities. It tastes and looks just like ice cream, except it offers nutrition. There are ice cream treats on the market for dogs, but A, they taste bad. B, they don't offer any nutritional benefit. In fact, they're loaded with chemicals so they can keep on the shelf for a long time. Well, we take our product, it's all natural, it's human grade, we freeze it right away as soon as it's manufactured, and that's why we use frozen as the method of storage and delivery system.
We'll be right back after this message break with some more questions for you, because this is quite a product, Robert, that you have here. We'll be right back. Molly, here's your dinner. Zeus, that's not your food.
Don't let that happen to your precious cat. Elevate your cat's eating experience with the Cat Tree Tray. The Cat Tree Tray keeps your cat's food off the floor and conveniently located on the cat tree. It's the perfect way to eat. It's a beautiful wrought iron tray that easily attaches to your cat tree and keeps dogs and other critters out of your cat's dish. A must for multi-pet households. There's a 6-inch tray for large bowls and a 4-inch tray for smaller bowls. Purchase your Cat Tree Tray today. Go right now to cattreetray.com. That's cattreetray.com. cattreetray.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. We're talking about Buddy Custard with the creator and founder of the company, Robert. So, Robert, you said about human grade. So if I want to, I could eat this.
Yes, you can. In fact, I have it every single day, and I will have it every single day for the rest of my life. But I must clear up one thing. My Havanese Boo-Boo, who, by the way...
We have a Havanese too. That's the tester, Nikki.
Okay, well, ours is Boo-Boo, and this is the third dog that we've had in our family. First was a golden, and who developed mammary cancer, and we got her an extra 3 years when we put her on Buddy Custard. The second one was a rescue named Dee Dee that was set to be, actually, she was going to be euthanized within 30 days because the cancer had spread over her body. We took her into hospital just to hospice her, and she recovered, and she lived for about 2 or 3 more years quite healthily without any cancer at all. We get rid of it. And then, of course, there's Boo-Boo, who got a mammary cancer diagnosis a few years ago, like 4 years ago. And she went on Buddy Custard at the time, and she's our personal family dog. She's a cute Havanese. You can see her on a website, and she's just doing great. She's 12 and like a puppy. So anyway, and so the long and short is that we developed this for dogs and through our own experiments within our home and then with others. And we were very, very successful, not just for use for serious disease like cancer, but it works pretty good as an anti-inflammatory for other ailments, such as arthritis. We've seen some great results on it.
Well, this is pretty exciting. I just lost a fur babe, but I don't think it was cancer. Mr. Z was 15 years and 2 months. So I wish I knew about Buddy Custard sooner, but he was getting old and it was, I think, time. So what is the best way to serve Buddy Custard? Because when I gave it to Nikki to try, I don't have a lot of patience as much as I should. And I wanted him to try it and see his reaction. So I didn't let it defrost. I was just scraping it and put it in his bowl. So, it was a few little chunks. And so he has this habit of taking everything in his bowl and putting it out. And then he put it, and it was on the carpet for some reason. I don't know why we gave it to him on the carpet, but then he puts it on the carpet. So we picked it back up, put it in the bowl. And the same thing happened. And he gobbled it up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The dogs love. And by the way, I didn't really clearly answer your question earlier. You said to me about human grade. Well, let me tell you, Boo Boo and I, and that's what I was getting to. And then I started getting off on a tangent. Boo Boo and I share our Buddy Custard every day, but we don't from the same bowl. I'm not weird. Right? Just so you know. But so Buddy Custard, we like for people to do, and we give them instructions. We like for them to defrost it about a half hour before they're going to serve it. We'd like them to get a little soft custard-like. That's where the name custard came into being with Buddy Custard. And then we like them to either give it to the dog on a spoon or from their hand, or actually you can mix it in with the dog's food. As long as they get it, and as long as they're getting their Buddy Custard on a daily basis, we recommend it with meals. This way, for sure, the dog is going to eat it. And then most dogs, actually, they just start jumping in the air when they see the container of Buddy Custard come out. It tastes really good. It sort of tastes like cheesecake. Because cottage cheese is flavorful, stevia is nice and sweet. The flaxseed oil really doesn't have much of a taste, and the peanut butter is really great. So sort of like a nice cheesecake. The dogs love it, and it's a healthy petroceutical treat. And there's no chemicals. It's all natural. Everything is frozen, all natural, and half the dogs like it just out of a spoon, and the other just mix it in with the dog's food on a daily basis. The amount that you give your dog depends upon how much the dog weighs. It's 1 tablespoon for every 10 pounds of dog. If the dog is ill, if the dog is healthy, just as a maintenance thing, I would just say a half a tablespoon a day per 10 pounds of dog is more than adequate. It works really well, and the dogs love the taste.
Okay. And so what would you call it as far as like a nutritional accompaniment with the meal?
Yeah, I would call that as a nutritional complement to the meal. Whatever the person is feeding their dog, and hopefully, people are getting wise and feeding their dog better grade foods. But in spite of that, if you just add this 1 or 2 tablespoons a day for a small dog or 4 or 5 for a larger dog, just add it into the dog's food on a daily basis. It supplements what they're getting nutritionally, and it acts because of the flaxseed oil and the delivery system that we developed combining with the cottage cheese. It acts as a cellular builder. It keeps the cells of the body healthy, and the ones that are unhealthy, it converts them and lets them die naturally. And that's simply what it is. It's almost like a supplement, but we don't call it a supplement. We just call it a pet food product.
I love this idea because anything to keep our fur babies around, longer, sure. And it's great for dogs. What about, do you need to check with your vet on this? Or is it just it's just cottage cheese and flaxseed oil. It seems like it would be okay. But I guess if your dog is on a strict diet or has any type of allergies or something, it's always good to check with your vet.
I absolutely concur with that. In fact, on a website, we talk about that all the time. Particularly if you have a dog that's ill, always check with the vet before you're going to provide any changes to the dog's diet. We've not had any negative issues whatsoever. The flaxseed oil is extremely, extremely healthy. It's organic. It's good for all living beings. But in certain cases, the vet may not feel it's appropriate. And I like for people to go to the vet, discuss Buddy Custard, bring them a container, let them go on our website, take a look at what the ingredients are, and have the vet make a good decision with the pet owner. Yeah, we're totally in favor of that.
Okay. What about for other animals like cats?
Well, you stole my thunder. So we actually are working, we're starting to do some flavor tests. So the same protocol, the same methodology, the same technology and engineering, and the key element is the delivery system that's unique to Buddy Custard. That's why it works. It's the way we get that flaxseed oil into the cells of the body. So we're now testing out with cats the flavors that they may like and seeing how they also react with the flaxseed oil. And just, a little sneak peek is that we're looking at using salmon oil and maybe even a little bit of krill in with the mixture. And we're planning on coming out with a Buddy Custard for our cat friends next year sometime. So we're going to take a time, get it right. And then when the cats get to have it, they're going to love it and it's going to work. So yeah, we're on to cats by next year at this time.
That would be a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like the thing with cats is, and I have quite a few, that you don't always notice how ill they are because they're good at hiding illnesses. And then when you find out, it's, kind of devastating and might be too late and it can be a catastrophe. So having something like Buddy Custard for cats, I think would be a great idea.
Yeah. And it's the same technology. Remember, our product is human grade. And, cats love creamy things, dairy products. So we're seeing a terrific response to cats. And they really like the flavor of fish. And by the way, salmon oil is an excellent, healthy added benefit. And what makes unique about Buddy Custard for cats, again, it's that delivery system that we've patented and developed of delivering that good, healthy salmon oil into the cat's body. It's not like taking a capsule or some oil and pouring it in a bowl. It's combining it with the cottage cheese and certain elements that cottage cheese contain that make it very special. And by the way, cats are also suffering greatly. We look at numbers and statistics, and we see that about 40% of cats are coming with cancer and arthritis and diabetes and heart disease as well. It's starting to become an epidemic with them. I mean, it is an epidemic when you're talking those numbers. So the cats are suffering as well. And this is a great alternative because my product is really not expensive. It's non-invasive. You go to a veterinarian, which we all need our vets and we love them, but sometimes people can't afford it when they get a horrible diagnosis and then they have to go and get involved with treatment that they can't afford. It could usually wind up being that they have to put the cat or the dog down. Buddy Custard gives you hope. It works really well, lengthening that companion pet's life. And we're very excited about bringing it out for cats over the next year or so.
I can't wait, and I want to know more about it because I also host Catitude, Robert, which is our #1 cat show out of our 75 shows. So let me know. It's a product, and I normally do not have products on the show, so we'll have to see how we could work that in. But that would be really interesting. Let's talk about where can people find Buddy Custard?
All right, that's a great question. The best question, if I must say so. We're almost exclusively a online company, so they can go to our website, buddycustard.com. They can go to Amazon. We like for people to come to us directly. We give them coupons. We give them specials. Coming to the website, you get all the information. You can buy directly. We pack it, we ship it within a few days of the order coming in. We ship it in dry ice. It'll go dropped right to your door and in intact and simple and easy for us to do. It takes 3 days to ship anywhere in the United States.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. And it took us only 4 months to figure out how to do that the right way. We just didn't want people to get a messy product or something that had defrosted and was not usable. So it took us quite a while to figure out the logistics with FedEx and UPS. And UPS will deliver right to a person's door in a container that is packed with dry ice, and then they just take it, freeze it, keep it in their freezer until use, and that's it. Just take out and defrost what you need for the day. Or if you have a big dog or a big cat, you could defrost it. It'll stay in the refrigerator unfrozen. It'll stay good for 7 or 8 days anyway as a defrosted product.
What's the shelf life?
It's good for at least a year or two as a frozen product. Same as ice cream, no different. And the other thing is we are talking, and we will be making some progress pretty soon now that COVID appears to be maybe getting a little bit more control. So we've been having some very good conversations with Chewy.com, Petco, Pet Supermarket, some of the big major retail chains, and we're working out the ability to deliver to them this frozen product, and they are ready to purchase it from us for the customer. The only difficulty, logistics, is freezers within stores. Many of the stores just don't have the capacity to have a frozen product. Refrigerated is easy, but frozen is more difficult. But frozen makes a better, healthier product because bacteria can't get in. It stays great, 100% integrity.
Okay, and go to buddycustard.com and get some more information. And that will also be, if you're driving or exercising or something while you're listening, that information will also be on PetLifeRadio.com. Go to Best Bets for Pets, and it'll be on this episode. So if you forget and want to think about it a couple days later, it is there. We always have a page for the show on PetLifeRadio.com. Robert, is there anything else you wanted to add? I think you covered everything really well.
Yeah, I do. One last thing that I would like to say is that, and you sort of touched on it before, you just want to make sure that you don't have to deal with an animal that has gotten sick, that you didn't know about it, didn't do anything about it. A good portion of the people that are buying Buddy Custard are buying it just as a measure of an ounce of prevention. They're trying to offset what may be in the regular diet that, or lacking in the regular diet that they're not getting by adding Buddy Custard. So we're seeing about half of our customers are those with healthy animals, and we heartily encourage all people that are pet owners, don't wait till it's too late. Don't wait till you have to go to the vet and hear those horrible stories, not just from the standpoint of what's going to happen with the dog or cat, but the expense involved. Get on it now. And I'm not saying that because I'm the CEO and the founder. I'm a cancer survivor. And I got to tell you is that we're seeing some terrific results with our product. And mostly we're seeing great results if people get proactive and take good care of their dogs and cats. Healthy food, healthy supplements, good exercise, good sunshine, just as if you would do for yourself. I think that's my tip for your listeners.
Wonderful. And thank you so much for coming on Best Bets for Pets. And I'm so happy you were able to create this product, and more important, that you're healthy. And I mean, it's kind of like one of these amazing stories, you know?
Well, I thank you so much. And I really thank you for your kind words in saying that. It means a lot to me. This is a mission. It's a do-good mission, and that we're interested in solving a problem out there and having healthier pets with us. And I really, really, thank you so much for allowing me to take your time with this and discuss this on your show.
Well, thank you for coming on Best Bets for Pets. I think this is a great product for many, many, many listeners out there. So hopefully, besides your website, you'll be in many other locations. And who knows, maybe your local grocery store eventually.
Yes, we expect it. And if not, just www.buddycustard.com. It's a very easy website to work with. We give monthly discounts. We give discounts on if they buy more than 2 containers. It's very user-friendly. And then it comes right to your door within a few days. And it's great. So thank you again for everything and for your time. And be well and try to get dry in Florida, okay?
All right. Thanks so much, Robert. Bye-bye.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Okay, well, that is just one amazing story about Buddy Custard and with such great results. Mr. Nicky, you are going to be having Buddy Custard on as a regular basis. Mr. Nicky is, I think he's like 10 or 11, and he's a little dog. He has a little heart murmur, which is natural with his breed and his size. I want to keep him around for a long time. So I am definitely putting him on a Buddy Custard diet. And I would like to thank Mr. Nicky for trying it out. Thanks to the cat crew for observing, which was Charlotte and Dennis and Molly and Jethro and Sammy and Jazz. Thanks again to Robert for coming on Best Bets for Pets. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you so much. If you want to suggest a new product or something out there, or you're looking for something, just shoot me an email, michelle@petliferadio.com. And most importantly of all, thank you so much to my producer, Mark Winter, for making me and my guests sound great. You guys have no idea. He does magic. So keep listening. We have some great stuff coming up.
Let's Talk Pets every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.